All right, we have some interesting news for everybody before we start the show. Just so you know, this is the final show before we go on break. Ooh, I know, but there's a lot of things going on. We have to move studios right now, so there's a lot going on. We will be back in April. The first week of April, the show will be back for the continuation of season 7. I think we're at season 7. But make sure you come back to the YouTube channel because I'm sure that there will be some extra content for you. You know I never like to leave y'all hanging like that. So we're about to go on break after this episode. This will be a good time to go back into the archives and check out the new stuff that we're gonna do. So listen to this crazy shit, okay? In Brazil, this 14-year-old kid dies because he did some challenge, okay? I have never heard, I've heard of a lot of challenges, okay? I'm pretty much growing up. I pretty much grew up during the internet challenge age, I feel like. But this has to be the dumbest. This has to be the one that I get the least. So this kid ends up getting a dead butterfly and then crushing it up, infusing it with water, and then injecting it into his leg. Then he ends up getting sepsis and dies. And it's like, dude, I can see almost any other challenge except the Tide Pod challenge. That was the dumbest one. I can see why somebody would do it. It looks kind of fun. The crate challenge. You go up the crate, somebody busts their ass, you break your hip. Hilarious. The devious lick challenge, when people were stealing people would steal the toilet bowls off the wall, or they would just steal a school statue, just steal anything that's crazy. Do a crazy theft. You know what I mean? That was one of my favorites, the devious lick challenge, when kids would go to school and rip something out of the wall or steal something really, big and elaborate. I can see the appeal. The cinnamon challenge, hilarious. But who even thinks of something like this, let alone would even do it? You know what I mean? This doesn't sound fun at all. It doesn't even look cool. Some of the challenges optically look fun and look cool. Oh, I'm going to do this wacky, crazy thing. This one has literally zero benefit at all. Zero. Why would you do this?
Now you know you're retarded.
You got to play it. Really. It's just, I was just left speechless.
Is the butterfly supposed to be hallucinogenic?
Maybe it's like licking the frog.
Yeah, licking the frog.
I don't know, dude. But listen, you were there challenges growing up where there was no, because you were around when there was no internet. Were there any fun challenges that were going on that spread through word of mouth in the school or anything like that?
The only thing that really comes to mind, if somebody dared you to do something.
That's what I was thinking too. Before the internet, It was I dare you. But it was all kind of fun stuff. I dare you to put thumbtacks on the teacher's chair. And then it's okay, everybody's going to laugh at that. Somebody's going to get hurt. It's going to be fun. I dare you to sled down this massive hill. Okay, I could see where that's fun. But it's this has zero benefit. Listen, rest in peace. But pretty wacky if you ask me. Pretty fucking wacky, dude. You know what else is wacky? And I wonder what you're going to think about this, because you love to support small businesses and you hate corporate entities and corporations. So this Valentine's Day, Walmart, there was some backlash and some heat from bakers, from independent bakers that make cakes and pies and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And they were coming at Walmart because Walmart was selling these $7 to $25 heart-shaped Valentine's Day cakes. And these bakers came online and they were tweeting and going on TikTok and saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be buying these because we put so much love into our stuff and we have better ingredients, and this is just the Walmart employees aren't getting paid enough." Meanwhile, these people that are speaking are charging $150 to $250 for their cake. So they're saying, no, don't go to Walmart. for way less money because it's an inferior product and there's no love in it and they have lame ingredients and we just put so much passion and time and effort. Where do you fall on this before I give my 2 cents? Because I think you know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna say. I don't know. I mean that's a pretty incredible price differential. Number one. Mm-hmm. I mean the thing that I don't like about Walmart is that it like wiped out like the Schenectady Seed Company and other small garden businesses in our town. It's just sad to see those go. But at this point, the public has spoken. The public has been pursuing the lowest price, and so we got what we got. I mean, my purchasing power isn't that big, and I don't buy what I don't want to buy, and I buy what I want to buy. So if you want to buy a $150 cake because the Smiths have been making these cakes for the past 50 years, all the power to you. Or if you want to go and eat, a Walmart cake, which was probably made with sawdust and acetone, knock yourself out.
Where would you go? Where would you put your money? Let's say the cake was $75 and not $150. Would you buy that cake over a Walmart cake? Would you support the small business?
I would try to, yes.
This is what I got to say to those people. Fuck you, okay? Because this has been my problem with these small businesses for years, okay? And I'm going to bring it back to another type of business and entrepreneurship, barbers. They're another one that's been pissing me off for a while now because these people that are running these businesses are price gouging and they are entitled. Not only are they raising these prices to the high heavens, but they also think that you need to buy from them. They also think that they're entitled to your money. And then these motherfuckers want a tip too. Like, bitch, what? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, because I know for a fact that these ingredients you're buying are not worth the $150. You want to charge $50? I guarantee you're making a good margin right there. If you say, listen, because $50 is like double $25, right? It's double the price. So I could see you saying, I got no problem. My favorite band, my favorite influencer, I don't really like influencers, but you know what I mean. My favorite people that make things. I have no problem paying more money. When I was younger, band shirts were like $20. Everything is like $30 to $50. And I've just kind of come to the conclusion that I'm just going to go with it for the I'm not really going to like 100 or anything like that. But I mean, I've paid some money that I would not pay, that I wouldn't have paid in the past for a band shirt or somebody's product because I liked them. You know what I mean? And everybody got to make a buck. But when you go to that level and raise the price to just astronomical heights and then think that you're entitled to my business, get the fuck out of here. And the worst of them, the worst culprits are these barbers. Okay? Now, I understand, and I've always come to the defense of barbers because if you're a barber and you're in a shop, right? Everything goes up. The economy is going, everything's going up. The prices for gas, for food, you have to raise your price because you have to live, and you're also paying for your chair in the most part. So for the most part. So yeah, if you're a barber in a barber shop, you have to raise your price so you can keep your chair and so you can live. But then you have these barbers that are getting paid to go to people's houses and they're charging thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars for these cuts. And it's like, all right, if you want to, obviously you're entitled to do that. And if somebody's stupid enough to call you over to their house and have you cut their hair for that price, I guess go ahead. But
now you know you're retarded.
But I heard a story the other day from this barber who cut this rapper's hair named Lil TJ. And he was saying how much of a bad experience it was because he went to Lil TJ's house or hotel room and he charged him $95 for a haircut. And he said Lil TJ gave him a $100 bill and then asked for $5 back. And he's saying this like, you know, he's saying that this was negative. This was a negative experience and that Lil TJ was a douche for this. Absolutely not. I'm not tipping you if you're the head of the business. You're running the business. You're not under anybody. So you set the price. You put the, you know, you're allocating the money for your resources. You have to factor all that in already. And I'm not dumb. Not only are you factoring in the resources that you're spending beforehand, but you're upping the price so you can make a percentage. Why am I going to pay you a tip when you're already making a percentage and there's nobody you have to pay after that? You're the boss. Absolutely not. These barbers are out of control. And this is the mentality. Entitlement. They think they're entitled to a tip. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm not paying for no $150 cake. I'm not paying for a $150 haircut. You can lick my ass. The hell out of here, dude.
Well, I've been to a couple shops, you know, where there's a bunch of chairs, and I don't know how much they were asking, maybe 30, you know, I mean, I live in upstate New York. $30, $35, $40. One of them was $50. And then you walk in and you know, no credit cards. They have an ATM. They're getting $3 out of you to, you know, convert your credit card to cash. You know, and then you know, I guess I'm just generally much older than a lot of the people in these places. You know, these newer barbers, and you know, you just look around and I mean, at times you're just looking at a bunch of posers, you know, posing masculinity, and you know, you're just like, whatever. So I don't go there.
Right. You go to a stylist.
I go to a woman who rents a chair at a salon that undercharges and says things to me like, "Oh, you always give me so much money," and I want to say, "You ain't charging enough."
That's the other side of it. See, that's good.
Yeah,
you're giving her a tip because you feel like the service you're getting is worth it, and she has overhead.
When I was going down the street, I was paying this young girl $40. That's what she wanted, $40. I wanted a place that I could walk to. I didn't have to get in the car, you know. And so it came to be that she went on to do something else, and I needed a haircut quick, and I walked into the shop, and I've been going to this woman ever since.
Boom.
You know?
Yeah, now you love it. And you give her a tip because she deserves it. Because she's not price gouging.
I'm paying her what I was paying flat out the woman down the street.
With the tip.
Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of small businesses, business owners, and influencers, I've been meaning to talk about this on the show for a couple of weeks now. Before we talk about her product, let's talk about the woman herself. Pastor, I know that you are probably unfamiliar with the Clean Girl. Now, I've been following the Clean Girl for a long time, maybe like 2 years or something like that. I originally found her when she was basically going in and cleaning like a McDonald's bathroom for free. She'd clean a Burger King bathroom for free. They'd kick her out, whatever. And then she started to do content where she was cleaning graves. And people took umbrage.
What'd you say?
Graves.
Great. Graves.
Yeah, not grapes.
Okay.
I mean, what else would you clean that sounds like that? Grapes?
Well, yeah, I thought that's what you said.
No, graves. She cleans graves and makes videos about that. And that's where she really started popping off, I believe. So people take umbrage with her approach to cleaning these graves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of her videos, and we're going to get Pastor's analysis and my analysis and see Is she being disrespectful? Because people claim that she's being a little disrespectful by cleaning these with the methods she uses. They say that she's a little rough with the graves, that she uses harsh chemicals on the gravestones, and that she's not very tactful when she's doing it in her approach to cleaning the graves. That she should be more respectful with the things she says and the things that she does. So let's take a look at the video.
Cleaning an abandoned grave. This is the tiniest grave I've ever seen. I wonder who's buried here. This is a baby's grave. I'm gonna make it look beautiful again. Immediately, my heart filled with so many emotions. This grave makes me so sad. This is extremely hard for me. I just want to go home and pet my dog, but I can't stop. I need to keep going for baby Luis Alfredo Lozada Ruiz. Baby Luis deserves a beautiful resting place. He passed away October 18th, 1982. I tried to learn more about baby Luis. Who was your mom and dad? What was your life like? Did you have any sisters? But I found nothing. I can't imagine the pain your family went through. I hope they found their peace. I get to do these transformations because you support and follow.
So as I said, people take umbrage with this because they said that her approach, is not as respectful, with the chemicals and the scrubbing and just the comments she makes. And here's what I have to say about that. That all may be true. But here's the thing. She's hot. Is that what everybody's forgetting about this? Does nobody see that she's hot? Like, what are you guys not understanding here? When you're hot, you can do things like that. It's like, the scale of the graph when guys know this, like you're willing to deal with, X amount of torment if she's this hot. So I feel like that is the same graph we're going to use in this case. Like, you can do these kind of things when you look like this. Like, if she was ugly, yeah, I could see the uproar. Like, cancel her, take the channel down. Like, of course she's ugly. Like, duh.
You're going to swing over there?
Yeah, I mean, of course she's fucking ugly, dude. Like, take the channel down. Like, it's kind of disrespectful. Like, yeah, but she's hot. Like, dude, get over it. It's like, that's the way the world works. You know what I mean? Like, if they got mad at her because some little girl had like a stuffed animal on the grave. It wasn't in that video. It was she made a bunch of these and she cleaned it. Like, she cleaned it. And people, oh, you can't do that because like that's sentimental. And like the little girl, like you never wash a little kid's toy because I'm like, are they not? Do these people not have eyes? Like, you blind? Like, she's hot. Like, she can do this. Like, what are you guys not understanding about this? Like, if somebody did this to my mom's grave, like, well, at one, like, the first thing I'd say is like, well, give me a 1 to 10. And if there's like, oh, she's like an 8, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, let's drop the charges. It's all right. What do you agree?
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm willing to co-sign that publicly.
Also, you might privately.
I mean, I did notice.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what the proper chemicals are to use. I mean, in this particular video, it looked like the grave had been forgotten. So, I mean, she's not desecrating it. I mean, when she painted it, maybe,
I forgot about that.
That was a little. I thought that was a little too far, but I'm not gonna. What am I gonna say if it's abandoned?
It'd be too far if she was a 6, but she's not. If she was a 6, I can see the argument here.
Yeah, I can see your point.
The only thing I don't like about the videos is she talks to me like I'm a 6-year-old. She's like, I'm cleaning I'm like, all right, we could drop that. We could lose that. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm watching Miss Rachel or something like that. You know what I mean? And then people are like, they're showing examples of people do these big video essays on her. This is disgusting. You can't do that. The scrubbing is too hard, and the comments you're making are disrespectful. And then they show other people that do it, and like, you gotta be like this guy. Boring. The guys ain't even saying nothing. They're just scrubbing it and just washing it, and there's zero entertainment value. Boring. And it's like some guy with a hat on. Just, who cares? If you're gonna, Why even film that? What is even that? You gotta let's go. Be entertaining. She's cleaning bathrooms. She's cleaning McDonald's bathrooms, getting kicked out. She's cleaning graves. She's saving puppies. She's entertaining. That's it.
That's it.
So she has a cleaning. Okay, go ahead.
Now, I wonder what she would do at that cemetery that we went to in Boston.
Where like a million graves.
They just piled people on top of each other.
She might dig some up.
Sort things out.
Yeah. She'll straighten out the graveyard. So she's very smart because all this culminated into her selling her product, Clean Girl. So she was making these videos and then she started teasing it. So I was like, listen, I'm a fan. I'm gonna be on the newsletter. So I got to like see all the steps to her making. She's like, what color do you think I should pick for the bottle? So I picked the color for the bottle. And then I was first in line for when she dropped the cleaning product. But what the fuck do I know about cleaning products? I don't know, bleach from Lysol, from freaking aerosol. I don't know what's what. I just be using stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But I know somebody who does. She was my partner in crime through this whole experience. We would watch Clean Girl together. We would talk about it. And her and I were anxiously awaiting the drop of the Clean Girl cleaning product. And that is none other than Cemetery Girl, obviously. So I bought this product and I sent it to her to see what she thought about it. This is her review of Clean Girl's magical clean foam. I forgot what she calls it, but something like that.
Okay, so for $30, first of all, $30 is a crazy ass price point. That is a crazy price point. But I'm sure she made a killing. I mean, it did its job, it cleaned, but it didn't do anything like astronomical, kind of just similar to like a regular foam cleaner. When I first sprayed it, it had like kind of almost like a perfumey scent. Which was weird, but then like the only way I could describe it after that scent like went away was like a kind of fishy smell. And the pink is like a nice gimmick, but like, I mean, it's kind of cool because I could see parts of like places that I didn't scrub, so maybe that's like what the purpose is. But like that pink does not fade. Like that pink is not turning to white. That pink is staying pink. So you have to really make sure that you're like rinsing everything after you're done. The bottle's cute. I would not buy this again. I guess it's fun. Like maybe to like not even use. Like to just have it like on a shelf somewhere. But
that got me. The fishy smell got me. I've never heard of a cleaning product with something like that. She said that she thinks that they put ammonia in it or something. And that's why it had that smell. So that could be the case. So it wasn't anything revolutionary. It did its job, and she's right. A lot of those cleaners, like Kaboom, they'll turn like green or something, but then it'll turn white because it shows you where it's dirty. But then it'll eventually turn like white, and you can scrub it off. So I guess this one doesn't turn white. It just sounds like she did what any smart person would do. She just got a regular cleaner, put her name on it, and sold it. I mean, I don't know if that's. I mean, the emails I was getting, it sounded like she was in a lab for months. She was like, we're working on the formula. And Cemetery going like, is she serious? Like is she? I can't tell if she was lying or, I mean, she might have been. Mm-hmm. I don't think that would be the smart thing to do. The smart thing to do would just go, get like a regular cleaner and then just put your name on it. $30 was crazy. Like, you ain't cleaning with that on the regular, right? Like, I'm not buying something to clean for $30.
Well, $30. I mean, a $30 cleaner. I mean, it's got to walk on the thing that needs to be cleaned. I mean, for me to spend $30 for a foam
I just got to
cleaner,
spray it and it's just clean right there. Just,
I mean,
and then it's done.
I mean, come
no
on.
scrub, no scrub needed.
Talk about price gouging.
Yeah, but remember, she's hot. So let's remember.
Well,
that.
there you go.
Let's remember that. Everybody go check out Clean Girl. Give her a like. Give her I guess buy the cleaner and see if you like it. I don't know if the fishy smell is kind of crazy though.
Yeah, I mean, just bringing up the graves, and then, I mentioned the graveyard that we saw in Boston. It was the second oldest graveyard in the city, and
Right.
First they were telling us that they were piling people like 12 deep, and that's why the graveyard was raised.
Right.
We had to walk up steps to get into it, and then at one point it burst open.
Bodies came out everywhere.
Bodies were coming out the side, and then the tour guide asks us, you notice that all the grave stones are straight, and what was the invention that made the graveyard the gravestones straight? And we're all, scratching our heads, and she's like, the lawnmower.
That's right.
So they just took people's stones and put them in lines.
Just randomly.
So it's like probably the stone is not,
right
maybe
space.
none of the stones are indicating who's underneath.
Right.
And so, that really that had a big impact on me about, people talking about desecrating a grave.
Can we all just stop this already, though? Can we all just burn ourselves? Can we all just cremate ourselves? Are we done with this? Like, when are we going to be done with this? Do we all think that Jesus is going to raise our literal bodies from the dirt and then we will walk around? That's not how it works. We're dead. Our bodies are dead.
That's what the Apostles' Creed
Our
said.
spirits
Believe in the resurrection of the body.
The body?
The body.
So, and then it'll just like magically come back to normal though, because you're at that point you're like decayed.
Clean girl came by and
With the
scrubbed
magic
you down.
clean foam. Yeah. No. Well, they'll have to put my ashes back together because that's how I'm going on. I'm not. No. We're not doing
You're
this.
gonna be walking around heaven like Pigpen.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not doing this. I'm not. Enough with the burying and the dropping of the. Enough with the funeral with the body. It's like, when are we gonna get over that? When are we gonna get? When are we gonna like? Okay, Pastor, you just died. The last thing I want to see is you made up like a mannequin. It's like, that's not even him. Like, what am I looking at? I'm gonna go over there and like somebody's gonna be kissing him on the cheek and crying. And it's like, for what? For what? Just show a nice picture of him in his prime. We will pay respects. Let's eat some food. Let's have some fun. Enough with the fucking bodies, dude. It's a waste of resources. I'm going to be taking out a bunch of jobs by not doing that. But I mean, you just keep the cremation. That's it. We're getting suits and dresses and makeup and fucking. Am I wrong? Do you want to see your mother like that?
I want to agree with you, but I was brought up in a different time.
Yep.
Because everything you're saying makes sense, but
Damn right it makes sense. I'll be making sense. That's why I got a show. Not just everybody can have a podcast. You got to make sense. They don't just give anybody a podcast on the internet.
yeah, anyone with a mic and a computer can't have a podcast.
You got to make sense. You know what didn't make sense to me, though, was the whole Jack the Ripper DNA thing we were talking about last week, right? I think we all kind of were scoffing at that they found this shawl that belonged to a victim. The victim, this author, whatever, this researcher purchased said shawl, then used the DNA of some man's relative or something to find out that this guy was Jack the Ripper. And we were all like, first of all, lame for doing that. You're lame for that, because let's keep the like don't ruin Santa Claus for us. You know what I mean? Like, we want every 2 years for a documentary to come out. Oh, we found this artifact from back then, and it gave like a little bit of insight on who it could be. It's fun. Don't ruin Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Like, so this guy just comes along and does this DNA analysis and claims that it was this guy, I don't know, it was Kosminski or something, this Polish guy. Well, we also saw in that article that people were saying that he might not even be credible, because that guy was apparently faked some evidence on another case, somebody's skull or something. We read it at the end of that article. Well, now we have an author here. She wrote a best-selling book, Portrait of a Killer, Jack the Ripper, Case Closed. And she says she does not trust the DNA evidence linking Aaron Kosminski to the killing. Let's hear about this.
It's super fascinating, and you're absolutely right. There are descendants of the great great grand category who are still emotional about their descendants dying in that way. These are victims' descendants. And so you're absolutely right. It's a case that deserves to be solved, even if Scotland Yard doesn't have the mechanism to do it. But before I go to a little bit more on Sickert, what do you think about Edward Russell's, positioning that DNA solved the case and that it was Aaron Kosminski? I guess that says a lot.
No, and look, listen, I don't believe it was Aaron Kosminski, and I absolutely do not trust this new DNA analysis, and I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm not a DNA scientist, but people who are legendary in the field, like Turi King and Adam Rutherford. Adam Rutherford says, this is terrible science. He calls it basically rubbish. And Turi King has been very vocal about the same sort of thing, that there are huge questions. And I will also point out one thing that's really important. We don't know for sure that the provenance of that so-called, shawl really did belong to Catherine Eddowes. If you look at the original police sketch, a crime scene sketch that was done at the time when her body was on the pavement in Mitre Square in the city of London, there is no garment like that around her. And if you read the original police report, there is no mention of something like that. But even if there had been, the contamination of this thing is horrific because it's been handled by so many people over the years. So I do not trust.
Yeah.
I call it fake news.
I have 10 seconds left, but I'd be remiss if I didn't just list out a couple things that point to Walter Sickert, sorry. He had a hatred of women. He had an obsession with killers, especially Jack the Ripper. He painted 4 paintings of another murder, the Camden Town murder. The letters to Scotland Yard, written on what looked like his stationery with the same watermark, and DNA from a stamp also is said to have a link to Sickert. With 5 seconds left, I have to ask you, and I'm so out of time, Patricia, but will we ever definitively know, yes or no?
I don't think we're ever going to get that from DNA, even if we got lucky with finding some sequences in common, and we did with the analysis that we did. Definitively, there's just not enough evidence left. It's too late for that, but there is such a thing as circumstantial and composites, and I think it points at Sickert, and I don't think that's going to change.
Sounds like there's enough doubt to keep this thing going.
That's right. She thinks it's Walter Sickler, whoever that is. I don't know if I believe her it's him, but I believe her that she's saying, like, it's not enough. It's not enough.
And they portrayed Jack the Ripper as this cunning, like he might have been a surgeon or something like that. And, I don't know. I mean, Kosminski was kind of a disappointment, I
think anything will be a disappointment, though.
Yeah, you're probably right.
What does she mean that the great descendants are torn up about their great grandfather, mother, that they're torn up about them dying? You don't even know them.
They must have time on their hands.
You didn't even know them. What are you talking about? You just bored, man. How you gonna be upset about somebody you don't even know?
I mean, if I heard that something happened to my great grandmother, I'd be like, wow, that was terrible. But I mean, I didn't know her.
You literally have no connection at all. Like, you have no connection mentally, spiritually. You know what I mean? Like, How do you justify being that torn up about it? I mean, it does like a video of her getting like her head blown off or something that Roddy and Mitzi shared or something. Then maybe you could be like, oh wow, that sucked to watch. But you're not gonna have that like instinct, like, oh, that's my family member.
Mm-hmm.
People just be bored. People be bored, and what they need is another Jack the Ripper documentary with another piece of insignificant evidence and another expert, and that's what we're gonna get, I'm sure, because the case is not closed. The case will never be closed, and the case should never be closed. All right? Let's keep things fun. So you weren't here on the show that I was discussing this, but Onisha Robinson has been having a lot of fun going around. She went to Pakistan because she was dating this 19-year-old guy, and he apparently left her. The family didn't want him dealing with her, and also he said that she catfished him. She's like 35 or something like that. So she goes to Pakistan and she starts like holding court, and like doing press conferences with the Pakistani government, telling them like, yo, like I need $50,000. I'm about to, we about to make Pakistan great. Like Pakistan sucks. Like it's whack over here. So I was wondering like, how did she get away with that? Like how was she not beheaded in Pakistan? You know what I mean? Like obviously. Well, she went to Dubai recently and she has now been locked up. As I suspected. I heard she was going to go to Dubai and I was like, that's not a good idea at all. You got away in one country. Let's go home. She has newfound fame. I'm sure there's going to be deals on the table when she gets back to America. But she decided to go to Dubai and try her luck again. And I knew it was not going to work out. I saw a video of her telling a man in Dubai that she was going to burn his face. She's like, I'll burn your face right now with my cigarette. Well, I guess smoking is illegal there because she is now facing up to 5 years in prison in Dubai for smoking a cigarette. And I knew this was going to happen because people go to other countries and they still think they're in America. And they totally forget that as crazy as America is, you can get away with wild shit here. You know what I mean? You can walk around the street naked and talking shit and you can get away with a lot in America compared to other countries. You know what I mean? Well, if you're a woman going to Dubai, yeah, let's keep a low profile. Let's keep a real low profile. So usually when I hear stories of our people going to other countries and running amok, I usually say, yeah, keep them. Like let's not do a trade or let's just keep them. Like we don't need them. Especially the streamers. I hate when the streamers go. But Onisha is an icon. She's also a New Yorker. She has many deals on the table, I'm sure. She's going to be a great reality show host or contestant, whatever. So I think that they should pardon her. I think they should send her back to America and just ban her from Dubai. This is the one time I'm going to say, let's bring her home, just ban her and let her come back and be a nice success and, be a big TikToker or whatever she's going to do because she's literally like diagnosed bipolar. So I think that should be taken into account and they should let her go, let her live her life in America, and she should just never be able to travel ever again. I think that she should be let off for this one. The one time, I think. Let's have her be useful and entertain the world, and they should give her her own dating show in America on Zeus.
So where did you locate this newfound compassion?
For her?
Yeah.
In her very entertaining videos of her holding court in Pakistan. Like, she was like, I've never seen a woman do a press conference in Pakistan and tell everybody to shut the fuck up. She's like, nah, y'all gonna shut up. Y'all gonna listen to me. She was like, Pakistan sucks. I need $100,000 right now. I was like, you go, girl. That's right. New York in the house. New York up in Pakistan. So we finally got to see the horror movie Heart Eyes the other day. Pastor, what did you think of Heart Eyes?
It was very good.
Very good. I agree. I think the opening scene was great. That's always, it's always a big deal if the opening scene is gonna capture you. It's gonna hook you. And I think the kills in the opening scene, especially the second one, was great. And another very important part of a slasher movie is the killer, is the look of the killer. The ensemble, the mask, the weapons. And I think they knocked it out of the park with Hard Eyes. I think the mask is very cool. The mask is very cool. When he turns on the night vision in the police station, that was awesome. He has the hard eyes that are glowing. I think the costume is great. And I like that it is a Valentine's Day movie. And they put a pretty decent love story in the movie. Like the movie was half love story and half slasher movie. It was more. It wasn't as like some movies they kind of sprinkle in a love like a little love storyline. This one felt like it was more of a half and half movie, and I think they did a good job at balancing it. There was one part in the movie where I was like, all right, let's kind of speed this up a little bit just for a second. I was like, let's speed this up. We need some more of the killer. And literally, as I thought of that, this dude came out of the closet and started attacking them. And that's in the trailer, so that's not really a spoiler. That's right in the trailer, so you're going to see that. So right when I thought, let's speed this up, boom, dude comes out of the closet, starts busting people up. I thought the kills were exciting, especially the one in the van, which was, I mean, they kind of spoiled some stuff with the trailer, which is usual. They shouldn't have put the closet thing in there because that was like kind of a surprise, but I knew that was coming. And the kill in the van was great. I don't know if they should have showed the whole thing in the trailer. I mean, that was probably the second best kill. That was my first one until the end. Till the end. And if you watch the movie, you know why I'm saying the end. But I think they did a great job with the scene in the police station. There's a lot going on. I didn't know who the killer was. I thought I did. I had a couple suspects. There's like one person in there that you're like, that's definitely the killer. Like you can kind of feel the vibe. And we're not going to give any spoilers, but I really like what they did with the killer. And I'm going to use quotations when I say the killer. I really like what they did at the end and what the killer turned out to be. The final action scene, with the big climax where the killer's fighting the victims at the end. I think it was fantastic. The movie was funny. It was shot well. I'm gonna give it a 4.7.
I gave it a 4.5, and but I really enjoyed the movie. And like you said, it was funny. I mean, the comedy in it was, some of it was subtle, some of it was corny, but between the good kills and a couple of what do you call them when they make you jump out of your seat?
Jump scares. I couldn't believe the jump scare that got you. I was embarrassed. I was about to move seats. I was like, you ain't see that coming?
Well, I mean, come on. I enjoyed it. I mean,
it was literally in the middle of a chase. Like, you're still on edge. He's coming. I looked at you like, did you jump? You were like,
I know. You said that. And I'm like, leave me alone. I mean, I'm enjoying this movie. I mean, that's why I go. So it got me. I don't have nothing to prove.
I was like, come on, man.
I wanted to enjoy the movie, and I did.
Oh, my God. It was better than I expected. I didn't know what to think. I was excited for it, but I was like, I hope this is not a letdown. It definitely could be. And the gentleman in the movie is the same gentleman from Scream 5 and 6. And I really enjoyed his performance. I enjoyed his co-star. Well, they're both co-stars. They're co-starring in the movie. One is not the main actor. I enjoyed both of their performances. And I think it was a banger. I think it's right on par with Thanksgiving. I think we thought Thanksgiving was better. Thanksgiving was a little longer though. I think I think Thanksgiving could have been trimmed down a little bit. This one was a perfect length.
I don't know. Because when you're getting to the end of Thanksgiving and it keeps going.
Yeah.
Those last few scenes were pretty gruesome.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they should have shaved off the end, but I think some condensing.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I think some condensing, a little here, a little chip, a little chop there,
But that movie stands number one for me.
Yeah.
For the horror movies, for the parade scene.
Oh, the parade scene was fantastic.
I mean,
my God. The parade scene and the opening scene.
Fantastic.
The opening scene was really good too.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was a smash. I think this is on par with it. Thanksgiving's a little better, but it kind of reminded you because, it's a holiday. I like that they're doing these holiday horror movies and they're actually good. There's a lot of them that have been out there, in history, and they suck. A lot of them suck. The one good horror movie we have for Valentine's Day is called Valentine. And I urge everybody to watch that. It's a slasher from 2002 or 3 with Denise Richards and everybody's just a bunch of hot people getting killed. And that's kind of what I liked about this movie too. It wasn't like a tradition. It didn't feel like a traditional slasher. It wasn't just like this is like a group of 5 hot women getting killed one by one. Although I like that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It did have a different feel to it. You know what I mean? A different pacing to it. Like when we got to the police scene, the police station, I was like, this is kind of like an action movie more than a horror. You know what I mean? It just felt like something you don't see all the time.
Yeah.
And I think Thanksgiving was right on par with that too, where it wasn't just like, oh, it's just gonna be like one kill after the other. Okay, this is another hot person getting killed. This is another hot person getting killed. I mean, kind of like, Scream is kind of in that vein, I would say. It's just like, here's a hot person getting killed. Here's another hot person. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like this one kind of broke up the pacing and the formula a little bit. Not drastic, but to me, it felt that way. I don't know if anybody else will feel like that. But that's what I walked out with in my mind as well. I was like, it didn't feel like just a bunch of ducks getting killed one by one. Just a bunch of sitting ducks, just boom, boom, boom. It was just a little more like back and forth in this movie, I feel like. A little more action, especially in the drive-in. That was great.
Yeah,
And at the end,
drive-in scene was really good.
And I think they broke that monotony up with the romantic storyline. I think that was really the way they broke that up. Instead of it just being killer kills this person, it just A, B, C, D. You know what I mean? It was like you have this love story and it works because it's Valentine's Day. And it's like I wasn't as invested. I really didn't care about these people that much, but I cared about them just enough.
Yeah.
I cared about them just enough. I wasn't like, oh, I have to see them together or I'm going to be so upset. Like, I mean, the guy could have totally got killed and I'd have been totally fine about it, honestly. I would have been fine. But it was good enough. It was solid.
It was good enough.
It was solid. I heard a rumor. I mean, it's just like, I don't know why they're making Scream 7. Just stop. I'm going to scream that they're making it. I heard a rumor that they're going to bring back Stu from the first movie. 7 movies later, the dude died in the first movie. He was the original. Let me I'm pretty sure I saw that. Let me look this up before I start talking wild shit. But I'm like 98% sure I saw that they're bringing Stu back, which they've been talking about. Yeah, Matthew Lillard is coming back for Scream 7. This was January 30th, 2025. It's like, why? Why? We are losing. You guys are, the creative juices have run dry. I love Scream. When Scream 6 came out, I watched it like 8 times in that week. I might watch it after this. I thought it was fantastic. Finally got a shotgun. We watched it in the hotel that time.
Yeah.
You liked it. Scream 5? Bad. Boring. They really redeemed themselves with Scream. And I'm not even saying that Scream 7 is going to be whack. They might do a bang-up job. But it's just all this stuff. They build up Jenny Ortega and the other woman who I don't remember her name, but she was good. I don't really care for them in 5. But they built it up to Scream 6. And it's like, okay, now I kind of care about them. I kind of like them now. I'm kind of invested in this sister thing, and she's related to the father who was the original killer. It's like, so now that they axed that girl for making some political statement, and then Jenny Ortega bounces because of that. So now you're out of this new crop that you were building up, and you're gonna go where now? Now you're gonna have to build up a new thing, and then they're bringing back Neve Campbell after dubbing her because they didn't want to pay her enough money because they thought they were hot shit, and they had Jenny Ortega, and now they have to come crawling back to Neve Campbell and give her the money that she was asking for. I guess it's like I don't even want to see Sydney anymore. I already seen her. I love Scream, but it's like, enough already. Hello, Sydney. I'm back. Okay, boo already. Like, I don't need to see it anymore. It's like, enough. We had enough of Sydney running around and punching him and shooting him and all this shit, and just end it. I'm not even saying I'm not going to see it. I'm going to say the same thing that Quentin Tarantino said about Toy Story. He said, I love Toy Story up until Toy Story 3. He said, I think Toy Story 3 was one of the best movies ever made. He said, but I don't need to see Toy Story 4. As good as Toy Story 3 was, I don't need another one. And I sympathize with that. Yeah. I'm still going to watch it, but we don't need it.
Right,
It's just like you're just going all over the place. Oh, we don't want Sydney. Now we want Sydney because Jenny Ortega won't do it. Now we have to come crawling back. Oh, now we're bringing Stu back. Why? Why are we bringing Stu up? Because we're creatively bankrupt. Just call it Scream 7 creatively bankrupt. Just call it that. Because we don't need it. So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Because when this motherfucker comes on screen, I'm gonna groan. And I guarantee you, anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together will groan. And then anybody else who is not invested in the original Screams, people that are watching this that are like 16 and never seen Scream, they're going to go, who's that old man? Who is that? I have no idea who that man is. And then like 2 people are going to cheer and I'm going to say,
now you know you're retarded.
Because it's dumb. Let Matthew Lillard star in Five Nights at Freddy 2. Because that's where he should be. But Matthew, get the bag. Get the bag. Sydney, Nev Campbell, get the bag. Everybody else, get the bag. I'm not saying shut the production down. I'm glad everybody's making money. It's just not necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. These legacy of series after series after series. It's just like what is there anything original? Any spark left in the creative corporate world?
So there you go. You're not going to really see us until the first week of April. But as I said, I do have 2 videos ready to go for March. So there will be at least 2 that I know of for sure that are edited and ready to be posted. After that, it's going to be a mystery to both of us. I don't know. But we will be back the first week of April with the continuation of season 7. And at that point, we will be approximately a month away, basically 2 months, because it's at the end of May, from the 6-hour spectacular. The 5th year anniversary. Can you believe that?
Yeah, wow.
When the 6-hour spectacular comes out, that will be our birthday, pretty much. And it will be our 5-year anniversary. So we have a lot to look forward to when we come back. Until then, peace and love. See you next time.